name is C Boogie Productions, and this is the Self-Improvement Summit.
Y'all give it up with the one, Playboy, and his leadership talking ability.
As a leader, you can't make good decisions without having clear cognitive skills. So give yourselves a hand just for showing up today, guys. My name is Corey Williams, native Houstonian. I go by Crypto Corey, and cryptocurrency has actually changed my life. Anybody here that have businesses that can sell products or services? Accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. But 10 years from now, if you don't accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment, because staying in business is a little bit more harder these days.
I'm the rhyming realtor for your dream home. You need to buy or sell. I'm the purpose coach for those that feel like they're going through hell. I'm the speaker here to motivate, encourage, and inspire. I'm a poet as well. Got the mic to spit bars of fire. The book that I wrote is Changing Lives as Well. A servant is what I am on a mission to serve, not sell. When it's all said and done, I help others reach their full potential. By helping them find their purpose, to find true joy, it is essential. Andre Notice is my name, and inspiration is who I be. It's true, I live to give, and you will notice me.
Hi everybody, my name is Helen. The topic that I chose for today is unconditional self-acceptance.
On YouTube, I have a channel called View from the Man Cave. On that platform, I talk about everything related to masculinity and manhood. Why? Because that's what I believe. That's what I stand on. That's what I will defend against enemies both foreign and domestic.
What up, what up, what up? Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the Dime Game Division. Shout out to all the people watching for the first time. If this is your first time watching the Nerve of You podcast, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Now, this is the Nerve of You podcast, episode 4. Episode 4 of the Nerve of You podcast. And let's get it, man. Yo, the question tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you know, if you anywhere near black YouTube, black social media, especially black Twitter, the question is always about the men that black women are attracted to. And the question is, are black women attracted to toxic men? Are they attracted to toxic men? And the short answer is yes, man. Like, without any other conditions, variables, you know, explanations, conclusions, hypotheses, studies, the answer is yes. But we're going to get into all the details too, man. You know, I got my lovely co-host Rose with me, and we're just going to chop it up for a minute, man. And look, this ain't one of them episodes where we sit back and just bash on black women and sit back and get on the sisters or whatever, but I want to take this time to really educate a lot of dudes on, particularly in black America, why we date the way we date. You know, I've heard from a lot of people, including some of my family members, that, you know, black men and black women, because of slavery, you know, we've always been breeding ourselves based on sex. You know, who got the biggest ass? You know, which man got the biggest legs, the biggest butt, the biggest back, the biggest penis, stuff like that. You know, we've been breeding ourselves for decades and even centuries based off of the slavery rules. You know what I mean? And I can see that. I wouldn't dismiss it. You know, I think that's more of an excuse because in 2022 we're a lot more civilized than we was back in the slavery days. But I can actually see that. If you think about black men and black women, sexual attraction is a big thing. Let's just keep it all the way 100. It's big for us. We got to be aroused sexually. You know, we see a girl with a big butt. 9 times out of 10, if you're a Negro, you're going to look back. It's in our DNA. It's in our nature. You know how many times I got caught looking back at a woman's ass? You know what I mean? To the point where I had to stop that stuff, man, because I was looking crazy. And like a lot of women set you up for the okie doke too. Let's just keep it a buck, man. Oh yeah, if y'all listening, you know, we're doing a live podcast, the Nerve of You podcast. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. You know what I'm saying? Let's send the notifications out. We do the podcast live, people. Many people can't do this, but we true to this, so we can. But like I was saying, you know how many times I got caught looking back at a woman's ass, man? It is a true story. And they really do it on purpose because they know we watching. They really know black men can't help themselves, man. And this to all the brothers out there. Like, you ever see a real thick white girl, and she might be with our peoples or her man or something, and you look back and the dude be looking at you. Like, after you get caught up like that a couple times, you stop looking back, and then you focus on your mission in life. But it's just how we is, man. You know, we put a lot of emphasis on sexual attraction. But as far as the toxic men, you know, when I first got online, right, Black YouTube, that was a big case against the Pookie and Ray Ray. It was the educated lame dudes against the Pookie and Ray Ray types. And although I understood the argument, I really did. I got it. I was like, okay, I can see that. It's levels to it. But on his face, I'm like, okay, I can see that. But I felt like the argument wasn't completely ironed out. Meaning, it's like saying every dude in the hood can get a woman. That's not true, man. You know what I mean? But are there a select few guys in the hood that have their way? Of course. Just like you go to any college campus, there are a select few guys that have their way. You know what I mean? Go to any football team, basketball team, it's a select few guys that have their way. And there are guys that don't have their way. And I felt like the argument wasn't properly flushed out. Every dude in the hood, every guy that would be considered a Pookie and Ray Ray is not getting the buns from women. That's just not even true, man. But, hey, man, if you're a handsome guy, you got decent body on you, you're aggressive enough, if you're going to be a stepper to a woman, if you know how to get some money, get some paper, hey, man, you're going to be able to get some buns out here. And that's just what it is. And, but a lot of dudes was upset. A lot of dudes are still mad in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. You know, when we grow out of these things, these kind of high school kind of conversations, a lot of dudes are still having them. And I'm like, dog, as you get older in life, man, it's all about working your mojo. It's all about getting in where you fit in, right? You know, you find a group of people that you rock with, you find your lane, and you work that lane. You know, if you're not a thug, don't be in the lane with women that like thugs. You know, deal with the women that like the squares and the studious guys. See what I'm saying? If you're a studious guy, work that lane. If you're a fraternity guy, work that lane. You're a military guy, work that lane. Professional, corporate, blue collar, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And there are select few guys that can work every single lane and do it without a problem. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm like, man, what's all this fuss about with the Pookie and Ray Ray? And what a lot of dudes just don't want to admit, truth be told, particularly when they was young, you know, they basically was just invisible to women. You know what I mean? It could have been an attraction thing. More likely than not, it was a personality flaw. You know what I'm saying? The women ain't going to talk to you if you don't talk to them. Women ain't going to be interested if you ain't interested in them. Women not going to be aggressive to you if you ain't aggressive to them, et cetera, man. You got to put that energy out there to get it back. And a lot of dudes don't want to keep it a buck. And just to take it a step further, if you look at a lot of guys online, a lot of the content creators in Black America, you know, for whatever reason, there be pictures floating of these guys. And if you see pictures of these guys 10 years, 15, 20 years before they got on YouTube, it explains everything. You know, y'all ain't got to take my word for it. Y'all can just do your research. You know, a lot of these guys use fake names. Let's keep it a buck. My name is Rashad Coates. You can Google me. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's on my docket is on my docket. A lot of these guys use fake real names and stuff like that. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that because I believe in privacy too. But what I'm saying is once you take a look at a lot of these guys in their former lives, none of these guys was ladies' men. What will qualify you to all of a sudden be a dating coach or a ladies' man? Or you ain't got no pictures in the club with your boys and the girls, and it's a 42 doo-wop backdrop, and all y'all posing like that's player shit. You see what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got no pictures where, you know, like it's you and your girlfriend sitting on the chair, she rubbing on you or whatever, and y'all want to take pictures for the day. Like all of this stuff is what you do growing up, and this is what you get. This is what gets you in sync is what gets you in sync with the opposite sex. But if you never been to the house parties in the hood, I was the house party champion. Facts. This is a true story. Let me go ahead and touch on this. This is a true story. Yo, man, I used to get on punishment, right? When I was in middle school. By the time I got to high school, I was already out there. I was already jumped out the window and jumped out the porch. Even in middle school, I used to get on punishment because I could not miss a house party. If you wanted to be a name brand dude or a name brand chick, you got out the house any means necessary. We lied. We climbed out windows, ropes on some Army Ranger, Navy SEAL shit. You dig? We tucked and rolled out the front door. But you got to the house party, man. And this is where you made your moves. It's like the cafeteria in high school. This is where you bust your 1-2, you bust your moves, right? So boom, you get to the house party, you see your boys. More than likely y'all meet up outside and y'all step in together. Boom. You know what I'm saying? You know how the fraternities be stepping?
Oh my God.
This how we stepped in the house parties together, right? Clean. Yo, this is a true story. I'm gonna give y'all a secret. We used to borrow each other clothes. This is how real it was back in the day. If you was in the 90s, yo, we borrowed each other clothes, man. This Snapple Top facts. Yo, you know how many outfits I borrowed from my boys that they couldn't take it back because after I wore it, they were like, yo, you killed it. I'm talking about when I got the jeans, when I got the shirt, I'm talking about starch in it, crease in it. You dig? I didn't iron the pants to my measurements. I didn't put the jersey on with the hat, with the bandana. Like, so at the end of the day, by the time I got the outfit, they couldn't even take it back. Like, yo, how I'ma wear it after you wore it? Because you ain't just wear it, you wore it. You dig? So, you know, but that's how serious it was. So what I'm saying is, people, ladies and gentlemen, everybody within the sound of my voice, yo, it's like this, man. We did whatever it was to get in sync with the girls. Should we be spending time studying? Yeah. Should we be working on building an empire and all that stuff? Yeah. But when you're a young man, you're a young woman, your social capital is everything to you. It just is what it is, man. So a lot of dudes didn't come out the house at this time. How can they know what the young girls are doing? How can they know what the young girls are choosing? How can they know what the young guys are choosing when they wasn't even out the house? You know what I mean? That's just the reality. You wasn't at the corner store with us getting chocolate eclair ice creams and juicy juice. Like, they wasn't there. Like, how could you know the interactions between young girls and young boys? That's not true. So, anyway, for a lot of people, man, there was a social flaw, character flaw, you know. And as you get older, man, you really come into your own. You come into yourself, man. You see what I'm saying? You may not have been the guy in high school, but you was the man in college. You probably wasn't the man in college, but, you know, your late 20s, you got it together. Got your paper right, got your mind right. To me, that's just a progressive way of looking at things. But for a lot of dudes, they still bitter. They still hurt. And I understand, man. You know, you like the girl a lot, put all your energy into the girl. You would have treated the girl good, but she got with a savage, and a savage treated her like crap. Now, how long you gonna be mad at this woman? You know, she probably a baby mama now. She probably ended up getting with a knucklehead, a real toxic dude. You know, she already paid her debt to society. But you as a man, you straight. You a picture of health, your mind's right, your paper right, you got your investments on, you got a good job, you touching some paper. What's the issue? And a lot of dudes just don't want to let it go. And it is what it is, man. So, I'm like this. This ain't really just a black woman thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, women, particularly in their younger years, picking toxic dudes. You know what I mean? White girls do it. Hispanic women do it. But it is much worse in black America because, yo, man, you know, we're a lot more aggressive people. You know, the aggressive man gonna get the girl at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? The dude that's gonna step. And, you know, there's some psychological reasons as well. If we get into the real truth, a lot of black women got very low self-esteem. That's just the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black women have a very low sense of self-worth. So they wouldn't even feel comfortable around a good, studious guy. A lot of these women, man, you know what I mean? They know they got dirt underneath their fingernails. And if they get around certain men, they going to shrink and they going to shrink and they going to lose themselves. If you just want to be real. So a lot of black women, they end up getting with the guy that they going to feel comfortable around because they know deep down inside, he ain't crap, I ain't crap. My self-esteem low. I can see he got issues. We'll be a match made in heaven. So there are many, many reasons that this stuff exists. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to name them all, but it's not just cut and dry. It's never just cut and dry. Because from my experience in the dating scene, a lot of women got range. Let me explain. I took a peep at, you know, some of my ex-girlfriends or whatever. You know, some of their ex-boyfriends, I met them. Some of their ex-boyfriends, I seen pictures of them or whatever the case is, which is fine. You know, and they was nothing like me, man. You know what I mean? Nothing like me. Complete polar opposites, man. In demeanor, disposition, personality, looks, height, weight, all that. Education level. A lot of women got range, man. You know what I mean? At some point in their life, they might have dealt with a nerdy, square, studious type. And you see somewhere in their past, they mess with a real ghost from power type of dude. You see what I'm saying? And that's one thing I see. A lot of women got range. They get out here and they feel what guy works for them, what guy don't. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, no matter what background you are, you got to be a stepper. Like, what you think about this subject, man? You know what I mean? Do black women inherently prefer toxic men?
I think that we do. I do think that we like aggressive masculine men, and in some ways they come in that form of a toxic man. That's what I think.
Hey, I can dig it. Particularly girls from the hood, man. Truth be told.
That's a fact.
But as far as who getting the buns, I'm just gonna be 100 with y'all, man. The guys in Black America that I seen getting the buns was those college fraternity type of dudes. You know what I mean? A lot of times they light skinned, you know, real good grade of hair. Them be the guys right under your nose cleaning up with all the girls. From my experience, it don't even be the Pookie and Ray Ray types. A lot of dudes think the dude got a lot of kids, baby mamas, that he getting all the... No. The dudes I seen getting all the buns is the pretty boy fraternity types.
Or the athletes.
Oh, yeah, the athletes, too. I mean, that goes without saying, though.
Yeah, that's like...
You a star football player, you a star basketball player, you going to be getting more buns...
than a bakery.
You're gonna be getting real talk, right? You're gonna be getting more buns than they make hot dogs for, man. That's one of the perks of being an athlete, especially in Black America. If you academia in Black America, you'll get a little bit of shine, but if you can dunk a basketball, you the one. That's just being honest. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Is that dysfunctional? Hey, we can have the debate, but the reality is, you know, for black men, physicality is a big part of our characteristics, man.
That's true.
I mean, honestly, other races of men, they don't have the physicality, the aggression, the testosterone that black men have, and it's a gift and a curse for black men. Because if you have these characteristics as a black man, you're gonna be all right. But if you're lacking in some areas with these characteristics, you know, you're probably going to fall short a little bit. And that's why I call it the gift and the curse, man. You know, but it goes back to the slavery, what I was talking, and I really hate to go here, I really do, but if you really think about the slavery times, what was the slave master looking for? The biggest, strongest, fastest buck. Let's keep it a buck. I mean, we see the same thing at the NFL draft, the NBA draft. You know what I'm saying? We see the same thing at like a lot of jobs. They're looking for bucks. A lot of women check out the same packages that they look back in the slavery days to see if he's a buck.
Right.
In 2022, there's a percentage of black men that are big bucks. Facts. No fiction, right? I'm just being 100. So, look, but back to what I was saying. At the end of the day, you know, you talked about the aggression, and this is what a lot of guys are a little upset about too, black men in particular, is that a lot of dudes is upset that in black America we can't just relax. You know, for a lot of black men, we only got a couple categories to fit in. You either a cool ass, athletic, laid back player type, or you like a nerd. You know what I mean? if you think about TV, think about the movies and Hollywood, et cetera, et cetera. Even though it's black men, we know it's more categories than that. But this is the boxes they try to keep us in. So when you get online and you hear the Pookie and Ray Ray educated lane, well, they're getting this stuff from somewhere. You know, a lot of times it's from media. I know it's more categories of black men, but it ain't many. It ain't many.
Right.
You know what I mean? You either got to fit this box of masculinity, which a lot of us don't, but we try to fit in that little box of masculinity, or you know, you the Steve Urkel, you know, type of dude or whatever, and a lot of dudes don't like that stereotype because there's a lot of smart guys that can be players too, that they can get a bunch of women too. So,
like, what happened to the kid and play category? I think gangster rap took over that trope, movie trope. You remember, like, Kid and Play? They were not gangsters. They were just cool. You know, they like to dance. They just.
Well, that's passé.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gangster rap came on,
and it just destroyed 80s, that trope. That, you know, and I think that was kind of detrimental because what if you know, guys were like that, you know? But now guys feel like they need to be overly aggressive, overly violent, overly, you know.
Well, one of the reasons that they are overly aggressive and violent and things of that nature is they think that's what the women like. Which it is. That's true. So, but because they not naturally aggressive, because they got to fake it, they overcorrect on it. Okay. So, not knowing that a naturally aggressive guy is not like that all day, but if you're faking it, you might get out here and do something stupid, start busting your gun in the air, and they're like, yo, what is this guy doing? Yeah. But, you know, he's overdoing it. He's overcompensating for what he's lacking.
You know, I mean, there is good reason why us women like that.
Why? Explain.
It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast. We want to tame the man. We want to tame the beast in the man. So, I mean, what good is a guy that cannot protect himself or his family? You know, yeah, he's nice, but if he can't protect me, especially if I'm pregnant or if we have kids, I don't want to, you know, be with that man. I want to be with the man that can protect his family, would die for his family, for, you know, for himself, respect, you know, for his self-respect. At least I know he could protect us versus a guy that can't.
But although I understand and that's very important with you know, protection of the family, but
and himself,
a lot of dudes are saying, as far as the women go, yeah, but who's going to protect you when you bring a thug into the house as a house pet and he go upside your head? A lot of dudes are saying, look what these guys are doing to y'all lives. The abortion, the single motherhood, the STDs, the emotional, physical, psychological stress. A lot of dudes is pointing that out, like, okay, is it worth it? So yeah, you got a strong bed buck that's gonna protect you from other dudes. Yeah, he gonna get out here and bust his gun. I know a lot of dudes that bust their gun. This is, shout out to my man D Love. Yeah, I mean, shout out to my nigga D Love. But I don't mean to say no name. I know some dudes that bust their gun. This is a true story. Shout out my boy Tone. He doing 33 years. But no, real talk, man, because we try to make it seem like in Black America, you ain't got to bust your... No, in Black America, you don't know when you're going to have to bust your gun. This is a true story. I would say get you a legal firearm, get your paperwork right. Don't just get any gun out the street. don't know what you're doing. But at the end of the day, you never know in Black America. You're going to have to whip out and let it go.
Right.
Shout out my man D Love. But see, but here's the point. At the end of the day, though, a lot of your D Love was a character.
He's like a oxymoron. D Love that busts his gun.
Well, you know, back in the 90s in the hood, you know, dudes had these, you know, you was a sincere, you was a wise, you was a love. That was the wave. You know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, man, like that's my heart right there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we was calling each other non-aggressive names, but they would be the most aggressive dudes.
Right, wise.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is a true story.
That's
this
true.
is real 90s East Coast flavor I'm giving y'all. But back to the topic at hand, people. So a lot of dudes are saying, okay, you want a dude that's gonna protect you from that, especially being in the hood. Let me be honest, you need protection.
Right.
I mean, even dudes need. That's why guys join gangs and
Right.
cliques, and we all need protection. Girls need protection. The guys need protection. But dudes is saying, okay, fair enough. But here's the question: who's going to protect you
From him.
when you let the pit bull in the house and he finally bites you? That's the $1 million question.
See, and that's where we think our sexuality and who we are as a woman, we will be able to tame that beast of a man. And that's where we're like, huh. I mean, that's the whole Beauty and the Beast movie. That's what it's all about.
Well, you know what they say? Mountain lions don't make good house pets. So I understand that, you know, and I get it on a psychological level, but a lot of times once these guys are done with y'all are no more good. And then what happens is the women get online and start complaining about men. They don't complain about their choices in men. They don't complain about the guys that they chose. They don't complain about the guys that they gave their body to. They say men, and they're not thinking about all the other prospects, dudes that really liked them, that would have treated them right, that would have treated them like queens, and all that other good stuff. Y'all don't ever mention that. Y'all mention the guys that took y'all down through there, damn near destroyed your life, and dudes is like, whoa, I'm clean.
Right.
So for those guys that are really clean and not faking, I got empathy for those guys, because at the end of the day, a lot of guys would have treated y'all women very good. But for whatever reason, excuse me, y'all just wasn't interested, man. It could have been a sexual thing, an aggressive thing, whatever the case, a money thing. But a lot of dudes, they want revenge. And let's keep it real. You know, a lot of, you know, that Kevin Samuels message ain't stopping no time soon. You know, it's only going to grow. A lot of dudes is realizing ain't worth. Some aspects of that red pill is going to grow. Some of that stuff is going to die down, because the red pill stuff, I'm going to tell y'all the truth, is getting way too toxic. And y'all have left reality with that. And I want y'all to look in my eyes with that red pill shit. When I first came into it, and I was like, all right, this is cool. 2022, that red pill shit is null and void. Y'all got way too toxic, and y'all have literally left reality with that shit. And I would make a bet. And I'm a betting man. Got all that red pill stuff. I'm talking about that hardcore, crazy shit. The girl got to kiss the ring. Y'all can't make that come alive in real life, man. So stop it, because y'all capping. And I'm tired of it, man. Because that shit has gotten way too extreme for y'all own good, man. And a lot of you dudes will have a real wake-up call. It's turning y'all into savages, man. Just getting into that stuff alone. And that's just my public service announcement. Y'all went way too far with it. And I get it. You got to go more extreme and more extreme and more extreme. You know, the more content you do, because you're going to keep going over the same topics over and over. And a lot of this stuff is entertainment. But they got these young dudes out here. And that's what I don't like. For all you red pill dudes that defended with your life, y'all got these young men, young black men out here thinking they got to be savages, man. Thinking they got to be sleazeballs, man. Thinking they got to be the worst of the worst type of dude to get at a woman.
That's trash.
And that's cap right there, man. These young black men need to get their head in the books. They need to really leave girls alone for a while and build up their company and build up their business. They need to focus, man. instead of getting out here, getting in a position where they can destroy their lives dealing with one of these girls because they wanted to be a sleazeball. And a lot of dudes picking up that mentality. I'm like, you know what? Y'all gonna find yourselves in handcuffs. Y'all gonna find yourselves with a bullet flying by your freaking earlobe, messing with some of these girls, man. For real, man. And it's cap, and that's BS, man. How you gonna tell a young black man, excuse me, how you gonna tell a young black man that he gotta get into savage mode just to be a player?
Yeah.
And they're not even thinking about this stuff coherently. They're not even thinking about this stuff like these guys are going to destroy their reputation in the streets trying to be too hardcore.
Right.
I'm like, dog, if you mess over the wrong man's daughter trying to be a sleazeball, you forever going to pay. You don't know who her father is. Father could be a chief of police or a judge. Or
Well, the chances are she doesn't have a dad. So they might,
yes, facts.
get away with it.
That's a fact of life.
Which is sad, but you're right. But they are going down a terrible, dangerous path.
And not this with young black men, but of course I'm black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a tailor-made it to us. But just teaching young men how not to cultivate their masculinity. My thing is this: we in wartime, people. Y'all hit the like button for me, y'all. We got Ukraine versus Russia right now. In Ukraine, if you from age 18 to 55, it's mandatory that you fight for your country. They shipping the women and children out the country. A lot of people don't know this. And the men stay and fight. If you of that fighting age, 18 to 55, and you physically able to do it, they got no choice but to fight. And that's good. The men got to be men in Ukraine. Ain't no crying, ain't no bitching, ain't no excuses. You're going to have to pick up a rifle and man your position. And this is where the men stand up. But over right now, we're not teaching the proper masculinity tactics. So if anything hit our country, we only got a small percentage of men that's ready to pick up a rifle and fight, even for themselves. These guys are hoes. No, this is a true story. No. Listen. Yeah. These niggas is bitches.
Wow.
No. Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you hear me. These niggas is hoes. I'm talking about the United States of America. The average nigga is not ready to get it on that 50 cal and let it go to that barrel hot. Why? Because we're not teaching proper masculinity. Proper masculinity, dog, automatically there's a governor inside you telling you what's right and wrong, for one. We're not teaching proper masculinity. You're not teaching how to be a savage. You're teaching how to be a man. You're teaching that you can click into savage mode, but your default is being a gentle, understanding, thinking man. You see what I'm saying? For your community.
A civilized man. And that's what I meant when I said tame. Tame, to be civilized. You could get into savage mode if need be, but you don't need that in civilization. You don't need all of that, but you could tap in if you want to.
And that's my thing. They're not teaching these guys how to protect, how to provide. They're teaching these guys how to be an individual, a rugged individualism. But when your community, when your country needs you to fight, and you're gonna be complaining about not having your way, instead of getting the rifle and manning your position, y'all gonna see what y'all did to these men. And that red pill shit ain't helping. We need men. Dog, is always, even if it's a small percentage, there's always gonna be a need and a call for men. And y'all gonna learn this the hard way. All you dudes watching within the sound of my voice, and all you women, get out here, I don't need a man. Forget a man. We don't need men. Yeah, you do. Shut your goddamn mouth. Yeah, you do. No, I'm serious, man. Because when it's time for war, I don't see no women itching to pick up no rifle. When it's time to get busy, we don't see no women saying, yeah, pick me. You know what I mean? No, they stand in the line to get evacuated. So I don't even listen to these women and that crap. At the end of the day, we know what men bring to society. We bring order, period. And they're not teaching these young men how to establish order. But we'll get into that on another episode. I'll do a whole episode on that. I want to talk about what we was talking about. And, look, mountain lions don't make good house pets, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys is saying that. At the end of the day, like, look, pick who you want to pick. Y'all sleep with who you want to sleep with, but you got to deal with the consequences of that. And a lot of women are going to be forced to think about their sexual choices or sexual habits in years to come, because a lot of men, they're not cutting no slack on y'all women. A lot of men really hate y'all. You know what I mean? They grew a disdain for y'all over time. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not completely saying that it's wrong, because I'm not in another man's life. I'm not in his mind. Maybe he got reason to believe that women don't like him or whatever. But at the end of the day, y'all not going to have a lot of allies.
Look, no man, I don't think no one deserves anything they cannot protect. I don't think you deserve it if you can't protect it. Because if somebody wants to steal it from you, they can. I think there's nothing honorable in not being dangerous if you need to be. So a lot of men, they probably like, I'm the good guy because I don't do this. No, I think you have to have a certain level of ruthlessness, in order to be respected. And that's the real world. That's how I feel. I mean, public school would teach you that, right?
I can dig it. I can dig it, man. Look, y'all hit the like button for me, y'all. I'm sitting here watching the chat a little bit. If you got a question, you're more than welcome to super chat your question, and we'll get it answered. But moving on, look, are black women attracted to toxic men? Do black women prefer toxic men? You know what I mean? And as a short, I would say yes, man. You know what I mean? I can never deny that. Now, I like to have the real conversation on my channel on why Negroes are toxic. That's the real conversation. No, for real, this is the real conversation I like to have.
Right.
Like, because we try to act like black men, as black men, we don't have a lot of hate in our ranks. We don't have issues in our ranks. We don't have things we need to clean up in our ranks, and that's not true. As black men, a lot of us are toxic, and this is coming from a black man. A lot of black men, we got to clean up our ranks, man. And this is just Snapple top facts, man. If we can say as a group of men that we are excelling, that is a damn lie. If we can say as a group of men that we are doing a good job at maintaining our communities, that's a damn lie. Mm-hmm. If we can say as a group of men that we doing a good job of getting out here and, establishing an economy and doing commerce for one another in large numbers, that's a lie. Creating jobs, that's a lie. All of it, we would be lying to people. Do you have black men that are doing it? Yes, but not enough. The black unemployment rate is high because black ownership is so low. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got issues in our ranks that we got to deal with regardless of women or not. Just as men, we're not on our job 100%. For whatever reason, man, we all been through stuff, you know what I mean? Everybody's starting point is not the same.
So why are black men so toxic these days?
A lot of black men are toxic because, for one, for a lot of black men, we got to go through so much to gain success, for one. A lot of us, man, to get it out the mud, to get it out the mud for a lot of black men, they had to take some real penitentiary chances, man. For some guys, for other guys, they had to study all night. By themselves, lonely. Family didn't believe in them. Family didn't help them out. Worked 2 and 3 jobs. The nights where, they had no hope. They cried by themselves. A lot of black men, in order to have that kind of success, they had to go through so much in their own community, and it breeds hate in you. Period. A lot of us come from dysfunctional homes. Father wasn't there. Or father, wasn't a good dad. Mom wasn't there. Mom wasn't a good mom. You did. The community, the environment was so aggressive. It either made you or broke you. Made you a stronger man or made you a weaker man, at least temporarily. So a lot of black men, we go through so much, man, and we don't properly know how to articulate and communicate and heal ourselves either. There's not a lot of apparatuses beside the Self-Improvement Summit. You did.
Whoop, whoop.
Shameless plug, but I don't feel ashamed. Besides the Self-Improvement Summit, y'all can come to and really get it all off your chest, because a lot of the churches have, for whatever reason, black men stopped going, and the church kind of turned their back and adopted the women as the head of the church. So, we got issues there. There's not a lot of services and resources toward black men, younger black men. So, a lot of mental health issues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
A lot of dudes is mad off decisions they made. You slept with the wrong girl, you got her pregnant, you on child support. A lot of dudes got hate in their heart from that. Just whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us wasn't nurtured properly. We wasn't nurtured in the proper environment. We didn't have that proper setting of good masculine, good feminine that can make us into men, the men that society would need. It turned us into savages, man. So I could go down a list of things, but at the end of the day, I would never act like black men. We ain't got to clean up our ranks. Homosexuality is at an all-time high. You know what I mean? I don't really want to get into it too deep, but a lot of these women ain't lying when they say they caught their dude doing this and that. These women ain't lying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we're not gonna act like we ain't gotta clean up nothing, man. So any black man that will argue me down on that point, he's not being serious, man, and he got a narrative. No, black men, we have to clean up our ranks. Period.
Right.
Period. So anyway,
that was a nice explanation, by the way.
And it's so much more than that. Same thing we go through as black men. Look, black women, y'all grow up in the same environments. Y'all grow up in the same neighborhoods. Dig. Y'all go to the same schools as us. We gotta clean this stuff up too. I don't want to get too deep in that conversation, but it's just real talk, man.
That's true, because a black woman. Girl growing up in the hood, we're looking like, okay, we naturally want to submit, so we want to submit to the guys that are the most aggressive. If we see men submitting to him, we're like, okay, that's the one, and that's how we see it. But you're right. I think you guys do have a lot stacked against you, but I think you guys have to realize that you guys are not alone, because your other half is going through the same thing, but it may be worse. But I think it could be done, though. I think
some of these dudes just wasn't attractive, man. I wouldn't even be.
Damn.
I wouldn't even be C Boogie if I didn't go here. I know somebody like he gonna drop the hammer. Let me get right before I get into this too. Yeah. Look, man. This is funny. A lot of guys are just upset that they wasn't attractive, man. And there's really nothing I can say about that. I mean, honestly, all you can do is self-improve and get some game. But at the end of the day, if it was you, the reason that women, wasn't really digging you, maybe a character flaw, personality flaw, little looks issue, then, you can't blame the world on that, man. A lot of these dudes just wasn't attractive, man. And I'm not trying to shit on nobody. I'm not trying to demean nobody. I'm just got to be honest. Well, you got to understand, in 2022, we dealing in a world of sex. We're not looking at all the intangible characteristics somebody has that will make us attracted to them, like their spirit and their heart.
Oh yeah, those days are long gone. But they made it that way. Men have made it that way. Let's just be clear,
Well, At the end of the day, though, a lot of dudes, they kind of upset about that, and it's like, well, if you want women to start to view you based on your character, for one, you're gonna have to stop looking at women based on sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have to be a mutual understanding that you know what, we're gonna operate on a high vibration.
Right.
But if you want women to choose you based on sex, then
that's not your game.
in the category of what a woman finds sexy, you got to be checking off a lot of boxes, man.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you got to work your lane. You dig? And I don't think a lot of dudes is really working their lane properly. But back to the toxic men. Look. It's like this, man. On my channel, I don't tell people who to date, who not to date. I just give my observations. I give my advice. You know what I'm saying? Deal with who's suitable for you and suitable for your campaign. My only thing from the jump with men and women is take accountability who you bring into your life. I'm not doing no excuses for men or women. You know what I'm saying? If you brought even myself, if you bring somebody into your life, they in your bed, you sleep with them, you got to stand on that. I don't want to hear nothing bad about it. Nah, you wanted to be that. That's who I am. You gonna have to stand on that. Like, nah, I picked this person because I wanted that person. Now you got to deal with every consequence that come with that, and they go for man or woman. I brought a woman into my life that had no business in my life, and subconsciously I knew it. Like, damn, it's the illest thing. I knew it. I remember, man, I had one of my old school partners at my house. This is a true story. He came to my crib one day, and I had this girl over I was dealing with. And I remember he told me, it was funny. He was like, man, she beneath you, but, she there. Like you can sleep with her or whatever.
That's OD.
And this is a true story, man. This is my old school partner. And I was like, damn,
She
what I'm saying? But
God, that was cold.
But she was a sweet girl. He was talking about looks.
Oh, great topic.
Hold on. Because I ain't finished my story.
Okay, well, we'll go back to that.
I finished my story. So, really talking about looks.
Because women go through it too.
So, at the end of the day, like my old school partner came through to check me and shit. He was like, yeah, man, she beneath you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn. He cut me kind of deep on that. Like, but subconsciously I knew it. Hold on, I'm not done. So she fixing her lip. My tuna fish lips. I'm like, no, I ain't done. But I brought women into my life that I had no business bringing in my life, man. And whatever, the sex was good, the head was good, whatever. They treated me good. They rubbed my feet. Whatever the case was, a lot of time these situations did end up very toxic. And anytime these women leave, they either leave a piece of themselves with me or they take a piece of me with them. You don't get out of these situations. I remember my ex-girlfriend. This is a true story. But I really got a little upset with her for even fixing her lips to say this. She gonna look me in my eyes and say, you got too many soul ties. If the word blip ain't coming, I'm like, yo, who you talking to? But I know what she meant. Maybe her wording wasn't proper, but.
Did you?
Well, a lot of women get it misconstrued because I don't ever talk bad about my exes. I always talk good. I praise them because, that. Calm down, co-host. You're doing a lot of. Calm down, co-host. No, real talk. It's just a habit of mine. I never talk bad about my exes. I would never do that. I always praise them because they was a part of my life. They're a part of my story. I can't tell my story without these women. So that's just who I am. But it's never like a thing like I want to sleep with them, I want to be with them, I'm attached to them. I don't respect people who talk bad about their exes. I don't. You know what I'm saying? You could be honest about them, but I don't respect people who trash them without trashing themselves. I will never talk bad about my exes without giving you my reasoning for choosing them. Like, nah, I was messed up. My self-esteem was jacked up. My paper wasn't right. Or whatever the reason I chose that person, I'm going to give you that first. I got to stand on that. I got to stand on that business, and then I'll tell you about them. But I'm not gonna trash my ex to you. You don't know that person. They're not gonna be mean to you. They're not gonna be messed up to you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's my
true.
thing. So, and I wouldn't want my exes to do that to me. And I know they do anyway. But some of them, a couple of them got every reason to. But at the end of the day, I don't rock out like that, man. If I pick somebody, I got to stand and take accountability. And it's not always easy because I did allow some women to destroy my campaign. I did allow some women to kind of just run, wild in my life. But that was on me. I can't blame them. As a man, I set the tone.
I have a question.
Sure.
How often do men choose women that were, choose women that their friends didn't approve, but they had such a great time with that woman in the sense of they bonded, she was sweet, but the looks aspect wasn't, I guess, quite there. And how many men, lose out on a lot of women just to appease their friends or get the stamp of approval from their friends, looks wise?
That's big amongst people. That's big amongst men, because men, especially black men, our egos are off the hook. So, excuse me, if one of your dudes is clowning you on your girl, or he not even giving you kudos, or whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? He got something bad to say about your lady, it's gonna make you feel some type of way. Is it immature? Yes. Or it don't even have to be looks. If a girl have a kid from a previous relationship, or a couple pounds overweight, or whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? You may like her, but amongst a lot of dudes, you got to deal with the ridicule.
I hear that a lot.
So, at the end of the day, that's a real thing.
Rest in peace to the fallen sweetest girls out there in these streets that focus on their looks, and think that that's the aim, right? But sometimes they may get lost and not think being a virtuous woman is priority anymore.
You be in a lot of microphone time tonight. You know what I'm saying? I've been noticing that. You got a lot to say tonight. It's cool. You know what I mean? Look, it is what it is. You can only look as good as your genetics will take you. I don't know why people go to the extremes. You should be able to look at your parents and see, I'm not going to get no more handsome or pretty than this. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can only work with what's in your genetics. But again, y'all women go way too far with a lot of that stuff. And, wonder why y'all attracting the wrong people.
That's true.
Work on the outside, but you don't work on the inside. Because it's a woman's piece that a man aligns himself with when he's intentional. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, they definitely lost in the sauce. An intentional man is going to align himself with a progressive, peaceful, structured woman. Even the worst of us men, even the drug dealers, even the drug lords, even the hitmen, even the gun busters, we want a virtuous, soft woman we can lay up with at night and tell our secrets. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to sleep with an Instagram model, but we don't want the Instagram model dropping our children off at school. You know what I'm saying? Is it confusing women? We can have the debate.
It is.
Is it right or wrong? I'm telling you how it is. Period. You know what I'm saying?
So the same way a woman wants a dangerous man to be civilized, is that the same way a man wants a woman to be accepted by his friends based on the way she look, but still have those virtuous qualities that you speak about?
Say that one more time.
Okay. So can we say that the same way a woman wants a dangerous, aggressive, masculine man um, that's civilized, right? Is that the same way a man wants a woman that gets the approval, looks wise, from his friends, from society, also being the virtuous woman that he can confide in and can trust, that has that peace of mind?
I can't say that with any certainty. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard for me to speak for every. I can't say that with certainty, but maybe you wanted something. Maybe you wanted something. Maybe you should go interview 50 black men and let me know what you come up with. I can't say that with certainty, but look, what's never going to change is men set the tone. You know, we're never going to run away from that. So, you know, as men, we definitely got to do a better job at, you know, setting the tone for what kind of woman we like. We can't sit online and say, I like a woman that's natural and this and that. And every time you get on your Instagram, all the chicks is all the chicks is plastic, is, you know what I mean, all that stuff or whatever. So, you know, we are doing a horrible job at that. But, you know, it kind of is what it is. I think for a lot of things, it's not going to stop. You know, now we got dudes getting surgery. Bad bitch surgery. You know? Now we got a lot of dudes that's getting the same surgeries women get. So I don't know where this thing is going. You know what I'm saying? By the time my kids get older, everybody might look the same. I mean, everybody's smiling. Oh my God, their faces up there.
Oh my God.
So you don't know if they smiling or crying. Oh, I had a bad day today. Everybody looking like Lil' Kim. So you did, but shout out. Look, man, shout out to the sisters. We gonna wind it down, man. Shout out to the sisters that didn't lose themselves in this whack cultural war. Shout out to the sisters that maintain their dignity. Even if they ended up alone, they did it the right way. Shout out to the sisters that went to school and they didn't, you know, degrade themselves or debase themselves for no man. Shout out to the sisters that waited their turn. You know what I'm saying? See, Boogie gonna salute y'all, man. Because at the end of the day, y'all the ones that give black women a good name. You know what I mean? Truth be told, you know, and it's a lot of y'all getting that education. It's a lot of y'all grinding. It's a lot of y'all that's not baby mothers. It's a lot of y'all that's not on Instagram, you know, doing salacious things and showing every bit of your skin. It's y'all, the Michelle Obamas, you know what I mean? Like that ilk of black women that push the culture forward. And we can never, ever shit on y'all. And y'all are choosing the right men. And, you know, it wouldn't be right if I didn't even acknowledge y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody else gonna do it. You dig? Look, I'm all about self-improvement. You know, it ain't never too late to self-improve. It ain't never too late to make a U-turn in your life and change some things. You know what I'm saying? I'm just of that ilk because we need it. Period. You know, men and women, we need the self-improvement piece, man, and we need safe places where we can heal and move on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just about that life because if I didn't have it, I'd probably be sitting in somebody's jail cell right now. You dig? So, look, message to the fellas, man. If you ain't get chose in high school, middle school, college, but you get your self-improvement on and you got chose today, man, be happy where you at, man. Don't dwell on the past. You know, don't get mad at all women from what happened to you 15 years ago. That's crazy. You know, to all the women that's out here capping. You know, it's a lot of fake thoughts out here. And I don't even deal with fake thoughts. I deal with real thoughts. It's a lot of women that ain't real thoughts, but they just want to be down. It's like the dude that joined the gang only for protection. They just want to be down. They just don't want to be an outcast. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get back to those books and, I mean, go get a job and stay out these streets too. Because a lot of y'all ain't mean to be baby mothers. Y'all just thought it was cool. You know, it's a lot of capping in black America. It's a lot of faking going on in black America, dog. It's a lot of fake thugs. It's a lot of fake thoughts. Come from good families. You ask yourself like, damn, you come from a good family. Why you act like that? But they just want to be accepted. They want to be down. They think that's being black. They think that's being, true to the game, and it's not. Being real is being true to who you are. So it's a lot of capping going on, and they're not really about their life, and they can't handle the consequences of it. So I would say, man, go get you a job, go get you a hobby, and have a seat. For real, man. So
I agree.
So a lot of this stuff got to be cleaned up, but it's only going to be cleaned up by truth. It's only going to be cleaned up by people wanting to do the work, man. So I appreciate y'all for coming out. The Nerve of You podcast. Look, we'll be back on Sunday. We'll be back on Sunday around the same time. Live podcast, The Nerve of You podcast. Subscribe to the channel. The Nerve of You podcast will only be on this channel. I got 2 channels, but this is the main channel. We'll rock out over here. Share this live stream. Share the podcast. Anybody, this episode 4, but it's only going up. And we're going to add some good things, man, over time. We're going to take some calls. We're going to have people in the studio. Y'all just give us some time to work on it. I guarantee this will be one of the best podcasts on YouTube. Trust me, because Boogie is here. And I think I had one more announcement, man. It's totally slipping my mind right now. But, hey, I'll save it for Sunday. So, for everybody, I want y'all to be here Sunday at 6 o'clock. Well, really 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll go with Eastern Standard Time. Be here at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. And if the time change, I'll let you know. But we'll be back here for the Nerve of You podcast, episode 5. And look, man, we having fun with this. It's live. We ain't edited nothing. Y'all see the good, y'all see the bad, y'all see the mistakes. But as long as we grow from it, I believe this will be one of the realest podcasts. If y'all looking for entertainment and Dre Sprinkle stuff, this ain't what you want. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all looking for some real talk, then come here, chop it up with the Bug Meister, man. But anyway, y'all be cool. And until the next time, man, y'all peace out.